Well done, everyone. Not a single one of you was incinerated. Oh, that's lovely. That's what I call a successful start to our year at Hogwarts. As long as that escaped chimera doesn't eliminate someone. Yeah, well, you better go catch her. Alright, chapter 1 done, and I've unlocked someone new. Alright, moving on. Oh, I just realized there's 17 chapters, so this one's longer than the previous year. Chapter 2, The Mysterious Madam Rakepick. Tulip thinks Madam Rakepick is up to something, but the only way to know for sure is to speak with those who know her best. Unleash your Patronus. An inhumane evil threatens the safety of Hogwarts. Learn the Patronus charm under Tonk's tutelage to conjure your Patronus and save the school. Now, I have played like 20 of these special timed quests off, out of recording, so you know what? I'm gonna let this one slide and put this on recording. And also, I am curious, so... Ben, what's wrong? You said it was an emergency. Someone trespassed. Artifact room. Help! What? Calm down and start from the beginning, Ben. Sorry, I'll try. My cauldron accidentally exploded in Professor Snape's face in potions, so I came here to hide from him. That's when I noticed things had been all moved around. Someone must have broken in and searched it. Searched what? It is messier than I remember, but professors and students are always coming and going from this room. Are you sure one of them didn't just forget to clean up? Sure, I'm sure. Is anything missing? No, but I just know someone who doesn't belong was in here. How do you just know? Yeah, I'm like suspicious. You don't believe me, do you? I believe you or I have my doubts. Actually, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and say believe you. Because maybe you are telling the truth. I believe you, Ben. If you think something's off, then something must be off. Thank you, Emmzy. Why don't we search the room? If someone really was in here, they might have left some clues behind. It looks like you were right to be suspicious, Ben. I found a black quill while we were searching. Was it just conveniently on the chair this whole time? Is it another transfigured message from R? Well, only one way to find out. Yeah, there's only one way to find out. Repairifage! I knew I was right to be paranoid. You read it, Emmzy. I don't have the nerve. It's time to unleash it on Hogwarts. Ensure Dumbledore does not get in your way. Consider this a test. R. Is R planning an attack on Hogwarts? It certainly sounds that way. But who is this R instructing? What's being tested? And more importantly, what is it? I have no idea. But I do know that I don't want to be there when you find the answers to those questions. Ben, when was the last time you were in the artifact room? A few days ago, I suppose? Then there might still be time to stop whatever R has planned. I'm going to go warn Dumbledore about the threat to Hogwarts right now. Rather than immediately going into danger and working it out myself, without his acknowledgement. You do that. I'm going to go back to the dormitory, curl up under my covers, and never come out. That's a mood. Albus, are you certain we shouldn't warn them? Minerva raises a good point. Patrols can only do so much. Yes, for now it's best to keep this to ourselves and carry on as usual. Quiet! It seems we have an audience. I'm sorry to interrupt, Professor Dumbledore, but it's urgent. And I'm coming to you straight away with it and not trying to handle it myself. And then get in trouble by you afterwards. It's quite alright. Go ahead, Miss Spiritbrook. I think Hogwarts may be in danger. That does sound serious. Would you mind filling us in? Of course, Professor. I'll tell you everything I know. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. You're welcome, but you don't seem very surprised to learn all of this. Do you know something you're not telling me? Whoever sent that message has something to do with my brother and the cursed vaults. And if they are planning an attack on Hogwarts, I want to do everything I can to stop it. Miss Spiritbrook, I understand you feel strongly about this. But it's our responsibility as Hogwarts staff to protect the school and yours to devote yourself to your studies. If there is a threat to the school, we will see to it ourselves. But Professor, I have been lenient in the past, but I'm afraid I must put my foot down on this one. Can you promise you will let us handle this and will not get involved? Can't make any promises or I promise. I mean, I'm kind of already on the thin line with you, so... Also for points. I promise, Professor, I won't look any further into it. But somehow I probably will. By accident, and I swear it. I'm glad to hear that. Though I must warn you, I will be holding you to that promise. If I find you've broken it, I will have no choice but to take appropriate action. What does that mean? Don't worry, Miss Spiritbrook. We will not let any harm come to you or any of the students of Hogwarts. I know, Professor Sprout. I suppose I'll just head back then. That sandwich I ate must have been bad. Oh no, you got food poisoning? I fell off my broom and onto Professor Snape. Oh, major oof. If only Madame Pomfrey could fix my broken heart as well as my broken arm. Aw, who broke your heart? I came as soon as I could, Tonks. What happened to Penny? Is she alright? Did she fell under the sleepwalking curse? I wish I knew. Madame Pomfrey refuses to let me near her. She insists she needs rest. And also, she kind of knows that you're a bit of a troublemaker. Like me. Let me try reasoning with Madame Pomfrey. Maybe I'm a bit nicer. Found her unconscious on the ground. The poor dear. It's a good thing you came upon her when you did. Any longer and she might not have. What, survived? Are you talking about Penny? Is she alright? Miss Haywood will be fine. Then can we see her? This must be the 15th time you asked me, Miss Tonks, and my answer is still the same. No. Wow, 15 times? She must be really concerned. A 23rd time, actually. I've been keeping count. Oh my gosh. Really? She really does sincerely care. That is so sweet. Number of requests aside, Miss Haywood will be alright, but for now she needs to rest. Please, Madame Pomfrey, Penny's one of our closest friends. We just want to wish her well. It could help cheer her up, Poppy. But she's sleeping. We don't mind waiting until she wakes up. Very well, but if you're going to just stand around, you might as well make yourself useful. Check in on the patients while I'm away fetching Miss Haywood some chocolate from the kitchens. And I'll allow you to briefly talk with her when she wakes up. Now get started before I change my mind. Emmzy? Tonks? You've perked up pretty quick. Penny, you're up! How are you feeling? Better now, though I think I had a nightmare. And I like how she says it with a smile on her face. McGonagall said she found you unconscious on the ground. What happened? I'm not entirely sure. The whole thing is mostly a blur. I can only recall bits and pieces. Though I do remember seeing something curious, hearing something disturbing, and feeling very odd. What was the last thing you saw, thing you heard, you felt? I mean, they're all good points, but... maybe... What was the last thing you remember seeing before you blacked out? I remember seeing my breath and noticing there was suddenly frost on the grass. Okay, that's a little helpful. Because I don't know if sound would have been much of help. It was unusually cold and dark for this time of year. How could this have happened? This might be related to a transfigured note Ben and I found in the artifact room. It was signed by R, just like the threatening letters sent to Ben in our second year. Yeah, before he kind of bleeped it out of his mind from the trauma. It mentioned something being unleashed on Hogwarts. I wonder if that's what attacked Penny. If Hogwarts is in danger, we have to do something. I know. I promised Dumbledore and the professors I would let them handle this. But I can't just sit back and do nothing. Penny, can you remember where you were when you fainted? The training grounds. Then that's where we're headed next. Also, Jay in the background, he's up from that terrible sandwich. Penny was around here when she fainted, so let's start by searching this area. Why are we searching it in the middle of the night? Don't we have a curfew? With any luck, we can find some clues about who or what attacks Penny and R's connection to it all. That's a good idea, but this place is huge, and we don't even know what we're looking for. Penny said the area around her suddenly got cold and frosted before she blacked out. So we should look for signs of something that could have caused that. Remnants of a freezing spell, perhaps? Got it. Let's start searching. I don't want anyone else to get hurt. We searched all over, but nothing seems out of the ordinary. If Penny had been attacked by a freezing spell, we should have found remnants of ice or frost. Perhaps Penny misremembered where exactly she was attacked? You might be right. Let's split up and search the rest of the training grounds. Nothing here either. I better tell Tonks. Ooh! Sup, Dementor? Who's there? The fact it was just stalking and floating. Ooh, the night sky and the full moon makes it perfect for the Dementors. A Dementor on Hogwarts grounds? I'm in trouble. This must be what the professors were talking about in Dumbledore's office. I better do something quick, or I'll end up like Penny. Well, what are we going to do? Flipendo! Yeah, that's my most favorite spell, but I don't think that's gonna work on a Dementor. We're gonna find out the hard way. See? Completely unaffected. It didn't work? What do I do? I don't know, run? Or just keep standing there in complete shock. Whoa! Okay, that's actually kind of cool. I hear a woman sobbing uncontrollably. Wait, is the Dementor sucking my soul? Wait! I remember this! It's Mum! The day she learned my brother was missing! No! Emmzy! Expecto Patronum! Yeet! And it's gone! Emmzy! Are you alright? I'm surprised I'm just standing and like that. Honestly, that's me when I drink too much. No, that was terrifying. It felt like all the warmth was being sucked out of me. Well, we're good. I was just about to lose all hope when you rescued me. Thank you, Tonks. I'm just glad you're safe, Emmzy. But how did you drive the Dementor away? My spell didn't work at all. Because it was the wrong spell, me. And to be fair, I don't think we've learnt Expecto Patronum. The Patronus Charm, remember? It's the only spell that's effective against Dementors. Well, how do you know the spell and I don't? You can conjure a Patronus? But that's high-level magic. Not many witches or wizards can do it, let alone someone our age. How do you do it? I promise I'll explain everything, but first, let's get you to the Great Hall and warm you up. Alright, we completed part 1. 3 more parts to go. Part 2. Tonks might be willing to teach you the Patronus Charm, but she wants to make sure you're ready first. Oh, is she gonna be a teacher? Pomfrey saw through my axe and made me alphabetize her medicine cabinet. You were standing out of bed, though. My grandma looks a bit like a Dementor. Don't say something like that. I'm just here to grab a few sandwiches, then it's back under the covers I go. I'm not sure what's more surprising, that a Dementor is on the loose on Hogwarts grounds. Or that you can conjure a Patronus? Why didn't you tell me? You never asked. Thank you again, Tonks. If you hadn't been there to cast the Patronus Charm, I probably would have ended up like Penny, or worse. But it's my fault you were attacked by the Dementor in the first place. I should have pieced the clues together sooner. Well, it's not your fault. I should have done the same. It was only after we split up that I realized the unnatural cold Penny mentioned could be the work of... Bleh. It was only after we split up that I realized the unnatural cold Penny mentioned could be the work of a Dementor. Everything turned out fine, Tonks. Don't worry about it. Alright. But why is the Dementor here in the first place? It couldn't have just wandered its way onto the castle grounds on its own. Wait a minute. It has to be R! The Dementor must be the transfigured node mentioned unleashing on Hogwarts. It's not unheard of for Dementors to work for wizards. They are guards at Azkaban after all. But why would R have a Dementor brought to Hogwarts? Distraction, test Hogwarts defenses, or to get rid of someone? Maybe to create a distraction from the main goal? Because I don't want to think of the third option. R might be using the Dementor to distract the professors while they search for the cursed vaults. That could be the reason, or they could be the ones, like, opening them up in the first place, forcing me to close them again. With the professors focused on finding the Dementor, it would be easier to slip past their defenses. Dementors are capable of consuming a person's soul, and leaving nothing but an empty shell behind. It's said to be a fate worse than death, and there's no chance of recovery. So like a permanent type of coma? Or just your soul is gone and your body's a husk? You have to be truly evil to be willing to do that just to get something you want. That's exactly why we need to be ready for anything, including facing the Dementor again if it comes back. But in order to get ready, you need to teach me the Patronus charm. I'm not sure, Emmzy. It might just be easier to handle this on my own. The Patronus charm is an extremely difficult spell to learn, and I'm not exactly the professor type. You're more of the rule breaker type. Plus, even if you do manage to learn it in time, fending off a Dementor isn't easy for a beginner. I'd rather take care of the Dementor myself, so neither you nor anyone else can get hurt. Oh, nor anyone else gets hurt. Stop adding words. Me. Please teach me, Tonks. If the Dementor attacks again, I'll be defenseless. If I don't know the Patronus charm... Yeah, do you remember, like, when I was by myself? Like, you were there, but what if it happens again and you're not? Let's talk about it. Perhaps I can change your mind. I'm glad you decided you'll teach me the Patronus charm, Tonks. You know what they say, 2 Patronuses are better than 1. Who really says that? But then I guess I come up with random things. I'll try my best, but like I said, learning the Patronus charm isn't easy. Most adult witches and wizards aren't able to produce a Patronus, let alone someone our age. And yet somehow you know how to produce a Patronus? I was only able to produce one through a lot of willpower and training. I promise I'll give it my best and do whatever you say. Whatever I say, eh? I might live to regret this, but yes. Alright then, let's go to Zonko's. Why? There's something you need to do before I can teach you the Patronus charm. Oh, I gotta run a quick errand for her pranks. I can't stop eating sugar quills. I'm not here to buy anything. I just like to watch people. We're having a special promotion. Buy 1 joke product, get a dad joke for free. Tonks, the Dementor could come back at any time. I need to learn the Patronus charm as soon as possible. Should we really be wasting time at Zonko's? Who says we're wasting time? It's much more difficult to cast the Patronus charm if you're not in the right state of mind. Like, in other words, do I need to, like, clear my head? Fear and other negative emotions can make you lose focus, and focus is crucial to casting a Patronus. And I don't think I need to tell you that making you feel hopeless and afraid is a Dementor's specialty. So before we begin, you need to prove you can stay positive even in dark times. That's why we're going to play a trick. On who? Are you sure this isn't just an excuse to joke around? Give me some credit, Emmzy. Even I know better than to mess about in a situation like this. Being able to have fun even while you're worried about the Dementor and its connection to R will be a good indicator that you can push negative feelings aside when the situation calls for it. That being said, I don't see why it can't be both. Alright, Tonks, let's do it. What do you have in mind? What sort of trick would you enjoy most? Discreet, harmless, or big? Honestly, something harmless. How about a joke that's fun, but doesn't hurt anyone? Physically. It may hurt them a little, like emotionally, but that sounds reasonable. Let's keep that in mind as we shop around for inspiration.